negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm on my way to work and no, my car is not broken. In Minnesota, I'll call this a Thursday. It's no secret that I love cars and sometimes a little bit too much, but I've been bike commuting almost every day for the past 15 years or so, and I absolutely love it. Here are 14 reasons why you as a car enthusiast should consider commuting by bike. In case you forgot since you were a kid, riding a bike is really fun. And studies show that people who walk or bike to work actually have more fun commutes. And they get to work being happier and have better days. So if you're having a bad day and you hate the traffic, try going to the bike lane. Riding can also help you build empathy with other road users. Now it's true that you can walk a mile in someone else's shoes, but you can also ride a mile in their wheels. If you don't know why people are doing what they're doing or going where they're going, you're probably more likely to get a little bit upset at them and beat your horn, or, well, I've had people do more than beat their horn. Even if you normally drive, it's good to go out and bike commute at least a little bit to get a feel for it. You get a better idea what people are dealing with on the road, and you're less likely to get mad at them. That both improves their lives and improves your life because you're happier. A lot of people let the cold weather get in their way. They use it as an excuse not to ride, but honestly, if you can walk a dog, ski, ice fish, hike in the woods, you can probably ride to work. Pretty much use the same clothes anyway and have the same amount of fun as if you're riding in the summer. If you look at the average speed in your car, when you're driving through the city, you're probably only averaging 25 miles an hour anyway. So if you're riding along doing 15 miles an hour, you're not giving up a lot of speed either. Another great reason to ride a bike is if you're like me and you love old shit boxes, you don't know when they're gonna break. If you have a backup plan like a bike to get to work, you're all set. You don't have to worry about it. If your car needs to go down for a week of fixes or a part doesn't come in right away, no big deal. One of the benefits of biking is you don't have to worry about your cars getting salt on them. Now today is the first snow of the season. It's mid-November in Minnesota, and I rode my bike today. I really wanted to get my truck out at the end of the season here, but unfortunately I wasn't sure if they're gonna put salt out, and I don't want to get salt on my truck. At the end of the day, you can't buy a 65 Ford truck anymore. You can't buy old cars, they don't make them. So unfortunately with a bike, if I want to buy another 3-speed city bike, I can go do that. Just like in the 60s and 70s, you could order a car in any color with any option and order weird stuff on it. You can do the same thing with a bike today if you order from the right brand or bike shop. Now, I got this 2021 Handsome Fredwood City 3 this year. I built it in the style of a 60s or 70s 3-speed Schwinn or Raleigh. Now, I can order from the factory. I can order whatever handlebars I want. I can get whatever seat I want, pedals. I can order a 3-speed, I can order a derailleur, single speed. A lot of people will complain that in the US you can't buy a bike that's kind of like a full commuter bike right off the shelf. And that's one thing that makes Americans feel like they can't ride the bike outside of those conditions for pleasure use and whatever. But really, you can get pretty available options for most bikes available today and outfit them really well for not a huge amount of money. I splurged a little bit on this bike, and I got the nice polished aluminum Velo orange fenders to complete that retro look, but you can get a lot cheaper Planet bike fenders and they'll do a great job right away. Aside from fenders, you really only want lights and a rack. And the lights allow you to, of course, be seen very easily, very, very important. And the front one allows you to see where you're going and everyone in front of you knows that you're there. Combined with a couple of reflectors on the bike, it'll keep you very visible to everyone else on the road. It's very important to keep you safe. As far as cargo carrying, on this bike I only had the little Velo orange front rack, and that mounts on the brake posts. But it carries everything I need for the day. Even in the middle of winter when I'm carrying a lot of clothes, I can roll up my clothes, bungee them down in 1 minute and go. You can even carry boxes and car parts and all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, I've carried home a roll of Dynamat on my bike just by strapping it to my handlebars with Arno straps. It's really easy. I've made this mountain bike about 10 times more useful by sewing my own frame bag. But this has just a nice little zipper. You can load this thing up with all kinds of stuff. I mean, a couple cans of Berryman's, you can throw in you know, a roll of clothes. It doesn't hold a ton, but it'll hold a lot more than you think it will. Even though your top speed and cruising speed are gonna be lower than a car when you're on a bike, there are some really interesting and fun ways to save some time. The first one is that you can actually take shortcuts that cars can't take, and you don't even know about when you're driving because you don't see them. Here are a couple examples. With a bike, you get to open your eyes a little bit more to the surroundings around you because you're going a little bit slower usually, but that allows you to also create adventures around your commute. And with a fat bike and opening your eyes, you get to find cool stuff like this where you get to literally commute over a lake. Isn't that awesome? This is another great spot. Instead of just crossing the lake, I can also ride down the lake on my fat bike when it's all frozen, then come up right here onto the trail and shoot home. I mean, how often can you off-road legally in your car on the way home? Not only at shortcuts, but at stop signs too. You can filter ahead of the cars. If you have room on the right, if there's a bike lane or a shoulder or whatever you got there, if you're riding on the shoulder, you can just skip the line and come right to the front. It doesn't make anyone slower, it just makes you faster. The fact that you're on a bike means that there's one less car in that line for everyone else to wait for. Just keep your defensive driving and riding in mind. Don't go ahead of someone that has some turn signal on or they're doing weird stuff. This is actually kind of giving me another point, is that riding a bike, say through a neighborhood on a shortcut, is not a detriment to the people around you because it's not loud. Tires get really loud and you don't realize it with the sound insulation in your car. A lot of times people complain about traffic going through the neighborhood if a new development goes in, but if people are on bikes, bikes are so quiet that usually people won't even notice. So you're essentially giving extra road capacity to the local streets without having to increase the road size or make noise pollution. If those 14 reasons don't convince you, I don't know what to tell you. Biking's great. Okay. God fucking damn it. I think it's fair to say that the brake line replacement has not gone to plan. Almost nothing in this job has gone to plan.
Or replacing bolts.